What's going on, everybody? Hey, I want to welcome y'all to What's Real. Hey, of course, I always got those special guests. Let me get this off the screen. Can you believe I still got this other video on the screen? But I got this special guest, y'all. Now, I always say I got a special guest. And they always seem like to be one of my good friends. But, first of all, let me do my little disclaimer. And so here it goes. This segment was put together as an outlet for friends and the general audience to chat about concerns and opinions that are relatable to us and also global situations. Now, we are not experts in any way in the medical field, legal, or religion, or politics. And this information, it's just truly just our opinions. And, I just want to say this does not reflect our businesses or our sponsors. I'm looking for your sponsors. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. But now I'm going to bring on my special guest now. But, first of all, I got to do the introduction. I like to do those little introductions. They got to start paying me for these introductions, y'all. So I want to welcome one of the most talented people I know. I have worked with this young lady on several projects. But what I've written here is a little bio. I'm going to charge it for this one. All right. The talented, Emmy Award winning television producer, artist with a soulful voice now. The South Side of Chicago native, has worked on Real Housewives of Atlanta, HGTV, Design Stars, and so many others, but I'm going to mention this one too. I Want to Work for Diddy, and the list goes on. Y'all, I want to welcome my good friend, Trizonna McClendon. Let me bring her in. She is in the back room, about to come to the stage. In 2 and 3, is she there yet? Bam! That's my dog. What's up, Triz?
Hi.
Hey, man, welcome to the show.
How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be in that presence of your good energy. We have so much history together, and it's just an honor for you to be on the show. And you know what? It's kind of funny. Before I get into the scripted role of things, of how all this plays out together. They say 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
We have Morocco, we have Ice Greasy, then there's the Triz. If y'all been watching this show, you'll understand what I just said. Now, go watch the other shows and then come back. After you watch this one, you'll understand how all this comes together. But this young lady right here, this Nubian queen, has, oh my God, she has a history, y'all. Look at her. Listen, check this out. Not only is she, I'm gonna say this, her beauty, what you see right here, that's the same person on the inside. That's a reflection of what you see. That inner beauty, that outer beauty is Triz. But let me go ahead and get it jumping right here with this young lady here. Now, Triz, I know you grew up in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
So tell, I guess what I want to say is, growing up in Chicago, so on the South Side, how did that prepare you, for your life and endeavors and ambitions of what you're doing now?
Well, I mean, as most Chicagoans say, Chicago is the greatest city in the world.
Okay.
And, I grew up in the 70s. So 70s and 80s. I was born in the 70s. So it was a beautiful time. My family was close. I had friends in the neighborhood. And, I'm waiting for it. Okay, I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
To me, like, I don't see you. So anyway, I was surrounded by a lot of music and just a lot of art. And my dad, which is the person that I get my love of music from, that was in the house filled every day. And anything that I wanted to do, my parents were like, go for it. They had me young, so I kind of grew up with them and all of their friends. So Chicago, and as we know, it's a soulful city. This is one of the music towns. You had Chess Records, you got Donny Hathaway, Minnie Riperton, Shaka Khan. So hearing all those beautiful sounds around me growing up, I couldn't help but, want to test it out myself.
Got you. So, now off the cuff, the music industry, I know you've been in it for a while. You've done several different things. Just give us an idea. I know there's a couple albums that you had your own albums and you worked with a couple people. Just give us, throw us some names, drop a little name drop on them, to represent some of the artists as far as even some of the producers that you worked with.
Okay. Yeah. So my first album, which is called Overtones and Innuendos, it came out in 2006. And it was executive produced by Old School Ice Green.
Ice cream.
And Latina Cunningham. And so, you know, with Greg, funny thing, he and I went to college together.
Okay.
And later found out that we were related. It's just so crazy. And then, you know, when I decided to start getting into music, this is when Abstract Mind State, his group, he and EP, were they were working on their debut album. And they pulled me in to write a hook for a track that they had gotten from Kanye West. And this is Kanye before he had moved on to go to New York, and you know, he was already doing big things. And then once he made that leap to New York, we all know history. You know, we already know how that went amazingly. So yeah. So when he saw that I wanted to sing, we just started working on a project. Yeah. At that time, after that, I had moved to New York, so I was going between Chicago and New York recording the album.
Got you. So I mean, so like, how long? I mean, you know, you did a couple albums. Am I correct?
Yeah, I did 2 albums. My second album is called New Familiar, and that came out in 2009. I had tracks from like Extreme, a lot of Chicago producers. A good friend of mine named Chris Vega, who lives in Brooklyn, he produced half of my first album. And it was just a beautiful experience. I had a chance to get some house remixes from some cool people. Yeah. So, and my music is on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you stream music, you can find Trizonna McClendon. So definitely check that out. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so this is the craziest thing now. You know, you've been, like I said, you've been in the industry for a minute. So how did you go from being an artist, you know, and developing your talents, and then you switched over into television? Totally 2 different careers. How did, you know, see, I know you as an artist, and folks, just to let you give a little insight, I was very honored to work on Trizonna's, I call her Triz, but today I'll just say Trizonna for a minute. I worked on 2 of her videos. Sunshine and Lemonade was one of her first videos that we did. And I mean, Lord knows, it's so funny. It's so long ago, and me and Triz have worked on some projects since then. The young lady that was in the video, if you guys go on YouTube, I wasn't gonna run it, but you know, it was done so long ago, and you know, because you know, being in business, the quality on YouTube now is like
2006.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of blurry. But what I want to say is that if you go on YouTube and see a Sunshine and Lemonade, Trizonna McClendon, her video. There's a little girl in this video, which is your sister at the time.
Yes,
well, still yeah. She was probably about 4 or 5 guys. You're not gonna believe this.
Yeah, she's a little older than that.
Okay, oh, she's a little older, 7 or 8, about 7 or 8 then, something like that.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Okay, so but she was really young, and we had a project we worked on recently. This young lady was, and you heard what I said, young lady. She was actually in the video and the photos and things of that nature. She's 22 now? 23?
23. Yeah.
23.
She graduated from college. Yeah. 2 years ago, and you know, she grown doing her thing.
Right. But the reason I bring this up, that's how far we go back.
I know. It's crazy.
But if you see the video, it's a great video. One of her first videos, I was very honored to work on.
Directed by you, yes.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say that's how far we go. We have other professional level projects that we worked on. But to jump back into what I was saying is, so, you know, how do you go from being an artist to this, you know, talented producer, storyboard producer, and you got several producing roles and different things that you worked on? Give the people a little idea of some of the projects that you have worked on. I only touched up on maybe 2, you know, but, you know, let them know how, you know, because I mean, you got a slate of information.
Well, you know, in addition to music, television was something that I always wanted to do. But I didn't think it was a reality. It was always in the back of my mind as a kid. I was a creative, you know, child. And so honestly, I fell into television to earn extra money while I was, you know, being a starving artist. And it was one of those things where another family member of mine, my cousin Nisa, she was the casting director for a show called Starting Over. I think that's the show Iyanla had on NBC years ago.
Wow.
And I came in as she hired me as a production assistant.
Okay.
And I think I did 2 or 3 production assistant gigs in casting. And then I got a big break and I ended up being the casting director and the story producer on Damon Dash's show. It was called The Ultimate Hustler. That was on BET. That was like my first big gig. And then after that, I went on to do a few College Hills. And then it just kind of turned into, you know, a career that's been going on for 16 years. I worked on Steve Harvey's daytime talk show when he was filming here in Chicago. I did 3 seasons of that, and I actually won an Emmy. That was
whoa. Just slow down now. What you say you did what?
I won an Emmy. What? Yeah, because the show was the best.
Come on now.
That's me in the red dress with the wig on. Yeah, that's me.
Congratulations. That's dope. That's what I'm talking about. See, people, you just never know who you can walk right past. This girl has won an Emmy with Steve Harvey. Now, see, another thing we got in common, because I worked with Steve Harvey, and that's such a blessing to be able to share that. And we worked at separate ends. But, you know, I was the photographer and videographer for the neighborhood awards, and then from the other side for the foundation of Steve. And then you worked on the show. You know, this 6 degrees of separation.
Yeah, we always connected somehow, always. Because you actually worked on College Hill for a little bit when College Hill interns filmed in Chicago.
Exactly. Yeah. And of course, and you was on it, and you know, and I give praise and thanks because you know sometimes who you know gets you in the door. But you got to be able to do the work too.
All right.
That's a good look, and that's what I'm saying. We got a good pass, y'all. But you know, go on there. So you got that Emmy from Steve. That's such a blessing. I love the dress. I love the hair now.
Thank you. Looking good. Thank you. You know, I was in LA and we were on a stage. You know, we won, so I had to make sure that I was representing. I had to. Dope. You know, it was a dream of mine to do, and actually, I had earlier that year I put on my vision board that I wanted to win an Emmy, and it, you know, the universe agreed. And it happened.
That's dope. I love it. I love it. Good job.
Say hi.
Let me let you go full screen with that. Do that again. Do that again. Because hey, one more time. I love it. I love it. Congratulations. That's amazing. Hey, folks, listen, this young lady got so much talent. I mean, again, Triz, let them know about some of the other, we got one more in the bag that we're going to talk about. How was it working with Diddy? How was it working with Diddy? Well,
you know, he's a perfectionist. He knows what he wants. It was a great learning experience. And another amazing thing about working on that show is that Andre Harrell was a judge on the show. And when I tell you that he, whenever, all of his friends says he lights up the room when he comes in, he just had such an amazing, just infectious energy. And, Andre Harrell, rest in peace. But yeah, that was a great experience for me. And actually on that show, I got the opportunity. I was a challenge producer on the show because it was a competition show, but I got the opportunity to work in post. So that was my first experience in post. And once I went into post-production, I never looked back. I love post. I do. The editing side, being able to take all this footage and tie it together and create an amazing story. I love it. Yeah.
Well,
you know all about post-production because you're an editor. So
hey, listen, it's a good thing, being able to share that passion too, because again, people don't understand behind the scenes, it takes a lot of dedication. Also, too, we deal with so much. So I'm gonna say this to the public. See, people think you see a show it's put together, but an editor is just like a doctor. You're not handed everything that's going to be a-okay.
Microscopic surgery.
Exactly. We have to really fix things, and
Yeah.
to create these shows, it's a lot of work that goes into them. But on a serious note, editors and people, you see the actors. Everybody love the actors. You start appreciating the production, because I guarantee you wouldn't have these great productions if without the actors, but also there's production teams. And see, Triz, being able to be a storyboard producer, just give a little insight about that, because that job in itself speaks volume.
Yeah, it's tedious and it takes hours. Like my first season on Harvey, I lived at work. Like I didn't have a social life because one, it was a new show. So anytime a new show, you're trying to figure out what it is and all of that.
Right.
But as much as I love post-production, but it takes up a lot of your time. It does. But if you're really into it, it's going to be fun.
Right.
So, and what it is that like if you have an hour show, it's about 42 minutes of programming, minus the commercials. And you are going through so much footage and you have to tie a story together. And then you hand it on over to the editor so that you put all the bells and whistles and all the graphics and all that beautiful stuff and the music.
Right.
But it's tedious work.
And it can't be done without you. You see what I'm saying? It's because you need someone to grab those scenes to be able to make this show work. Now, editor can do the work, but that's just double work. So
yeah, you got so much technical stuff to deal with. You don't have time to really go through all that footage. Because it's hours.
exactly.
And when you're working on a reality show, you're filming for days, for weeks, sometimes months, and most times months. So imagine filming all day for a couple months. That's a lot of footage to go through. There's a lot that ends up on the editing room floor.
Wow. So Triz, tell me this, how, what inspired you, and keeps you focused throughout the years, just to stay in this game, it takes a lot.
Well, I think I have to keep challenging myself, with projects that inspire me. I started out in reality television and then I transitioned into talk show, which was a great experience. And after that, I wanted to tackle the documentary world because I love documentaries.
Oh, yes, she does, folks.
You know that. I could watch documentaries all the time. So it was something that I always wanted to do. And it's all about timing. One of my really good friends, her name is Renee Blewett, and she's the executive producer of a film that I had the opportunity of working on called She Did That.
Stop right there. All right, folks. I want y'all to see something. Hold up. Wait a minute. And here we go. Let me do this. And it goes a little something.
African-American women are the country's fastest growing group of entrepreneurs.
Black women. I want you to look at me and be inspired to say, I can do that too.
These are the women who are raising the glass ceiling.
I'm a product of people who were committed to seeing me thrive.
Dreamers.
Could I have lost everything? Yes.
Doers.
The superwoman complex is real.
Risk takers.
I have a master's degree. You're asking me to print out agendas? I'm done.
You don't get to diminish my hard work.
The banks are not as excited to give us money.
The backlash was, we're selling out.
This is a time for us to begin to build our own table.
What's the secret?
It's really just a matter of, having the guts to do it.
How did she get there?
To say that you went from your kitchen to being a part of the largest beauty company in the world.
Take a step in her shoes to see she did that.
Yes, y'all. That's my girl, Triz.
Now, it's just us.
Now you tell the people what you worked on again. Say it again.
When it's just us, you go, that's my dog. Now
right.
Say that's my girl.
Right. See, look, we on TV now, so I gotta be, I don't want to be like, that's my dog. They'd be like, huh?
Like, who's he talking to?
Right. But Triz, hey, listen now. Go ahead, tell the people your role in this great film.
So I was the supervising story producer on that show. I was on the film, and that was actually my first film. So that was such an amazing experience. I mean, anytime I get to tell a story about Black women and how we navigate through this world in spite of.
Right.
Malcolm X, said it best, that the Black woman is the most disenfranchised being on the earth. So to be able to tell a story about how we thrive, with little of nothing was an amazing experience. And Renee, she had, prior to doing, she has a blog called In Her Shoes, and she wanted to take it to the next level. And she felt like the next step was to do a film. And, we've been friends for a long time. And she has a friend who works in television. And she said, hey, I think we should do this. And we did it. And it's been amazing. And it's currently streaming on Netflix. You can see it on Netflix. You can see it on Amazon, iTunes, anywhere they're streaming. You can see it. You can also purchase it, if you want a collective item DVD. I know those are almost still out there.
Right. Hey, listen, people, you support not just a Black film by creative young ladies. Support it because it's good and it's good information. Because if you could just give a little insight, Triz, just being an entrepreneur as a whole, not just being a minority, but a double minority. Some of the scenes that you guys that were shot, just if you can just give a little insight of, somebody's business that you saw, as they talked about, made you think twice, information that's given in the documentary.
Well, there's a lot of information about how much money, Black female business, Black woman-owned businesses are generating. I mean, it's billions of dollars, and most of the businesses have very little staff, and on top of that, getting loans and funding for your business as a Black woman is so hard. And I think because we're talking about it a lot more, and I'll say that this film, has definitely got the word out there. Like we were, when the film came out, we debuted on Netflix. Forbes, did a story. Black Enterprise did a story. So it's catching people's attention. As a matter of fact, the first 2 weeks, the film was trending on Netflix. So that was a blessing.
That's dope.
And so, that's huge because, there's a lot to choose from on Netflix. But, it was really important to tell this story. And there's still so many more stories to tell about Black female entrepreneurs. And, I want to be one of the ones to tell it.
Right. And talking about this documentary, how did it feel when you got that call, to be able to, be asked to work on this documentary? Because again, like I said, you have a history of great projects that you worked on. But when you said Renee called you, right? Contacted you?
Yeah. Well, like you and I are close. She and I are close. And when she was thinking about it, we were talking about it. I wasn't on the project then. Initially, I came on as a consulting producer because I was working on other stuff. And as you know, because we talked. Whenever I'm working on a reality show, it consumes all my time.
Right.
And but the timing was just right. I was finishing Housewives of Atlanta, and it's just like, and another friend of ours, our friend Liz, she was like, "What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing? You need to, So it was. It didn't take much, and once I got on board, as a supervising story producer, it was full speed ahead.
That's awesome. This is something that I had to sneak in there, folks. Me and Triz, like she said, we go so far back and we keep in contact. And I always known documentaries were her thing. She told me this years ago. And I used to be like, well, documentaries weren't mine at the time anyway. It was more so music videos and just a lot of energy, like stuff just moving, commercials and stuff.
They don't make money.
Right. She was like, I want to do documentary. I'm like, okay. So, okay, no problem. You go ahead and you make those documentaries. Now, we kid about it. And so we got thrown in the mix of things. And we thought we was, we kind of thought we might be going to blow up for real at that present time. I'm laughing beforehand, folks, but you would have had to see it and understand what we're talking about.
Oh, God, I know what you're talking about.
Do you remember how pumped up we was working on this particular project? I'm not going to mention the artist's name because I didn't give the artist too much clout.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't mention his name.
At the time, we took our money, our equipment, and had a crew of people. It was a mountain, and what was her girl? I had another videographer. I cannot think of her name.
I think it was one of your students or something.
No. I met her actually on a shoot for BET somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, I think it might have been a College Hill shoot. She was a PA, and that's how far back this was. So she was a PA. I met her, but she could shoot. We drove down to Springfield, Illinois. I'm gonna speed it up. Put it this way: we shot this artist. This artist was the hottest artist at the time because it was the rap battles that they had on BET.
Yeah. Well, the Freestyle Friday. Yes. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ultimate Ice Reed was managing this artist. Exactly. Dope. Really dope. And so it was like, okay, let's capture his story. Let's get on top of this.
Exactly.
Because I think he ended up winning.
He did win. He won that season.
He ended up winning, and then some things turned south, and we didn't finish the project. But it was an experience. We were down in Springfield hustling.
Yes, we were shooting around the Capitol building. We was interviewing everybody, and we were like, "Oh, we gonna blow up! Let's go!"
I know.
Especially if that story would have came out, you would understand why. And I'm gonna leave it on this note. It was the next Eminem at the time.
Yeah, it was.
And he was really that good.
He really was.
He really was that good. But into business and into when parents start interfering and you start seeing things getting bigger for your kids, you start tripping. So
and we never heard from him again.
Never heard from him again.
Yeah, no. So I hope he's well. God bless.
Yeah, we pray for you. Back to the show. Okay, folks. But these are some of the experience that you go through and you grow from. And there's something to say it, sum it all up when I say that, again, we have worked on so much. You have seen so many projects, take off, you've seen them that fall down, that fail. But in your experience throughout the years, what shows are you, or I don't say it don't have to be one, but what show or shows are you most proud of that you have your name attached to? Because again, I know you love documentaries. I
do. So I would. Oh, you're saying with the exception of she did that? Because I'll say
we know she. Yeah, that's right.
She did that would be a project that I'm most proud of because I had more input than I did on on the reality shows. So I really am proud of that, and there's more of that coming in the future. But I enjoy working on Design Star. I like competition shows. Okay. And I enjoy working on I Want to Work for Diddy. That was cool too. Because I Want to Work for Diddy, I worked in the field and I worked in post. Okay. So I got to see it from, the beginning all the way through the end. So that was pretty dope. Okay. You know what I'm forgetting? So I had the opportunity to work with legendary SWV and Salt and Pepper on a show called Ladies Night. It came out on BET last year. Okay. So that was a great experience because, I grew up loving them.
Yeah. That's real hot.
That was pretty awesome. I'll say each project that I take on, it just, it takes me to the next one. Right. And, the next thing I want to get into is scripted entertainment. So that's something that I'm working towards.
Well, I mean, Triz, you've done so much. It's hard to believe. Honestly, it's hard to believe you haven't done a lot of scripted, productions. I mean, because, when I met you, for the most part, reality TV has consumed you throughout the years. And you have done so much reality TV. What was the guy's name that you showed? You did his show, too. The one that drove around I think he stole that from me and Gerard. We was riding around doing a little show. At first, it was Cooley and Goose. And we was in the car. And next thing you know, what's that? He's a host right now. He drives around. They sing in the car.
The karaoke.
Yeah, in the car, dude. That guy.
I can't think of his name, but no, I never worked with him.
You never worked on his show? I thought you worked on his show too. Sorry.
No.
Wrong plug. Sorry about that.
He's a talk show host on Channel 2 on CBS. I can't think of his name right now. But I'm trying Carpool Karaoke, I think is the name. Carpool Karaoke. That's exactly what it is. I know I had thought you tapped in with him, but again, I say your slate is still so long. So as you, since we're in this situation right now with the coronavirus and stuff like that, I know
You know, you had things in the mix. How do you feel now? And I mean, you know, since, you know, productions are down, since, I mean, like I said, again, is we all had stuff lined up to do, but now it's all on halt, you know, because we can't go nowhere, you know. How does that affect you? Because I mean, being in opposed to being out, how are you taking this all right now?
You know, I'm the type of person that whatever's happening, you know, like I try to figure out what can I learn from it. You know, maybe it means, like, honestly, I don't care what nobody think. I feel like the whole COVID thing, we were forced to slow down.
Right.
Clearly, we weren't doing some things right. You know what I'm saying? And with us slowing down and having to stay home, hell, the air is cleaner. You know, birds are coming back. In Italy, fish came back to the, you know.
Right.
So I'm looking at it as a way to, you know, focus on those things that I kind of have been procrastinating on. You know, but yeah, it's tough. You know, I know a lot of people that are struggling right now because television is not an essential job. Like news is, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I think that, and also it's forced people to kind of pivot and try something else. There's a lot of creative things that come out of situations like this.
Oh my goodness.
Matter of fact, I think Lifetime just premiered a show yesterday where 4 couples, the story of 4 couples, what life is like for them, you know, in quarantine. They've been filming themselves. Wow. And so I think that moving forward, we're going to see, you know, a lot of that until we, you know, we get to the point where we feel more comfortable being in a crowd, you know?
Right. And you know what, just on that note, like you said, being more comfortable in a crowd, I think it's, like you said, it's going to get back to normal, it's going to take a minute. I don't see us jumping out, even from the production side. I actually saw a crew of people, Triz, I don't know what it was posted on, but everybody had on the hazard gear.
Oh yeah, the hazmat suits.
Right. I was sitting there like, wow. I mean, you know, it was like it was. I was thinking at first, I'm like, they got to be kidding, right? But no, they was actually moving forward with a production from top to bottom. You know, and with that being said, you know, that might be the new normal for a minute.
Oh God, like, you know, when you're working in the field, when you're filming television, you're running and gunning a lot, so you get hot. So to have put all that on,
exactly.
Yeah,
it's gonna be ugly. Yeah. It's definitely gonna be ugly. You know. So again, like I said, so with our future projects being put on hold, you right now, are you planning on staying in the Chicagoland area or New York or LA? Because I mean, people don't know that you travel a lot. And I mean, you even did a show that was out of the country at one point, or you was traveling for a show that was out.
Yeah, I was. I went to South Africa in 2015 to work on the project. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah. So that was cool. And actually, I went back to South Africa in 2018 to work on that Salt and Pepper and SWV show. Okay. We filmed a lot out of the country in Australia, South Africa, Cayman Islands. Wow. So that was a pretty cool experience. Yeah, I'd never been to Australia. That was a long flight, I tell you. I thought the South African trip, flying to South Africa, was long, but Australia is all the way across the world.
Wow. Triz, listen, I'm gonna say this. I was trying to close out with one of those. I ain't gonna even say what it was. I'm still looking for it. If I can pull it right quick, I want to show the people something. But again,
are you about to embarrass me?
Okay, no, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't do that to my girl. Hey, but listen, people, I want y'all to realize this young lady here is a very talented person. If this is your first time maybe seeing her in person right now, I'll say that. But for my viewers, but if you look on a long list of reality TV shows, you will see her name in the credits. She has done great things throughout the years, and she's still at it, folks. Another person that's been in the business. This is what Reel is all about. People that's been in the entertainment business that, you know, you wouldn't normally see. But these are good people that have done their careers. It speaks for itself. Their resumes are really long, and they're humble, and they're such loving people. Everybody that you probably will see on this show, energy is on top of the world. And that's I say that to you, Triz, all the time. We're still in communication throughout the years because of the energy that we have.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand, because the music industry, the entertainment industry energy, it's a whole different energy, people.
Yeah, it is.
And you got to be, and I would never bash or nothing like that. You got to have a strong back for this game, the entertainment industry, a strong back, because the weak will not make it.
No.
Will not make it, and it's a lot of work that goes into these projects. And Triz, you represent that, and throughout your work, you have done well. Continue much success. Oh, you know what? Let's get, before we get out of here, there's a couple people on here that shout out. Let me let them plug. I'm gonna just plug. I showed their faces a little bit earlier, but we're gonna give a shout out to Mike Singleton. Thank you, Mike.
Hi,
Mike. Mike showed his little face there.
J-State, JSU.
All right, then we got Tina. Tina's
that's my baby.
What's up? Appreciate you stopping by. We got another one here, Lamont. Me and Lamont go back. I don't know if you know Lamont Brown.
I'm sure we've come across each other. Yeah. Hi, Lamont.
Lamont, thank you for popping in. Yeah, we was competing back in the day on them videos. Lamont did a couple videos too. He did Crooked Letters, which is David Brown.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm giving him a shout out. My man. All right, and who we got here? Fred.
Hey, Fred.
I almost called him, our little bathroom name. What's up, Fred? Thank you for stopping in, my brother. Hey, but listen, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate those that popped in today. Triz, you take care of my sister.
Thank you, Cooley. I appreciate you. I love you. And, we got work to do when this thing is over.
Yes, we do. Oh, yes. We're going to give out a shout out to one of our common good friends, too. Ice Greasy is one. Lavetta.
Yes.
And we got to mention, a project that we recently worked on. Triz was another, he's a storyboard producer on that, and I was the videographer and editor, and it was a project for ComEd.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's recent, folks.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and there was a lot of work in that, but we worked it all out.
Yeah, it was always good when you work with your friend. You work with friends that are good people.
Yeah.
So that was great. That was awesome.
I love it. Love the energy. But take care. Stay. Is it a place that you want people to be able to reach out to you or follow you on anything? Don't be all shy.
Yeah. Well, I'm Trizonna McClendon on Facebook. I'm Triz Biz on Instagram. I'm Trizonna McClendon on YouTube, and I'm on Twitter as well. And of course, the music. Listen, music lives forever. So, check me out on Spotify, iTunes, and Tidal, all those amazing places. Oh, and I forgot to, since we plugging ourselves, I was blessed to have one of my songs featured in season 1 of Spike Lee's She's Gotta Have It. So episode 6.
That's dope.
The song Trizonna.
That's what I'm talking about. Also, tell them where they can get your music again. Tell them where you can find your music at again.
Oh, you can find it on, all the streaming services. Spotify, iTunes, Tidal. Yeah.
Listen, folks, she got some good music. I'm trying my best to find one of them videos right quick and bring it on in here, but it's hard to find right now. But you know what? Go to YouTube, y'all look up Shatterproof. Trizonna laid it down. Good video, and it also has Ice Greasy in it and Morocco Amari.
J-State.
Yes. You will see him in a younger, youthful hairdo style guy.
He's doing big things. I'm so proud of the work that he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if y'all didn't see it recently, folks, he was a gentleman that's on 21 Bridges. Stopped
Empire.
Empire. Stopped in to be Tria's leading man. And I think
he's also a director. He's an amazing talent.
Yeah. He almost sounds as good as me. I'm getting jealous. But the Cooley show. It's Morocco. No, that's real talk. Good people. Everybody is here once again. When we mention y'all, we mention good people. Hey, Cecilia, thank you for popping in. We have one more person that popped in. I'm gonna show you a little face. What you got there? I will look it up. She said she will look it up, folks. Thank you so much. All right, Trish, she gonna look you up now.
Thank you.
Triz, we appreciate you. God bless, and thanks for everybody that tuned in to What's Real. Stand tuned for next week. We're gonna have another exciting show with new people, people that's been in the business for a while. And then I'm actually gonna do a senseless plug here. We have a special report, and basically gonna be breaking news. And look for that panel discussion that we're gonna pop in the next week or so. This is outside of What's Real, but it's an exclusive that I have to do with a crowd of people that you need to hear from them. All right, take care once again. Triz, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna do my closing out, and that's it. And it's What's Real. My girl, Triz, is in the building.
Julie. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye.
All right, folks. Thank y'all for tuning in, as always, to What's Real. I'm Waylon Cooley. I'm the host. It's always an honor to interview people that I respect in the game, that have been doing great things for years, and to highlight them. Of course, she's already been highlighted, folks, because you know she's won an Emmy. But keep in mind, folks, this is what the show is all about. So take care, God bless, and good night. Every Thursday at 6 p.m. Sometimes we might be running a little bit behind due to technical difficulties. Because still with working with different softwares and applications and with Facebook, sometimes you run into those problems. But again, we really appreciate y'all for tuning in and taking a minute out of your schedule. This all broadcasts will replay. Look forward to having you tune in next week. And again, as always, What's Real? I guess I got to do my closing and let the credits roll. All right, y'all. Peace. I'm out.